The rain poured against the rusted minivan's windshield as we turned into the private resort's driveway, my uncle's idea of a family bonding vacation. I had barely unpacked my small duffel bag when my Aunt Clara announced with her usual cheerless smile, "Zina, you'll be staying in the kitchen quarters. There's no space in the rooms." I stared at her. "You mean the actual kitchen?" She nodded. "The helpers stay there too. You'll be fine." My cousin smirked behind her, whispering something that made them all laugh. It wasn't the first time they'd tried to humiliate me. After my parents died in a car crash, I was handed over to my father's elder brother, Uncle Walid, a man who wore designer agbadas but treated me like dust under his feet. His wife and children followed his example like it was a family sport. I slept on a rugged mattress that night, squeezed beside the steaming ovens. Cockroaches crawled across the cracked tiles. The heat was suffocating. I kept staring at the ceiling fan that didn't work, clutching the edge of my schoolbook for comfort. The next day, while the rest of the family enjoyed the private beach, I was ordered to help the cooks. "Make yourself useful," Aunt Clara barked. "And don't touch anything that looks expensive." I wanted to cry, but instead, I put on an apron and helped the elderly chef, Mama Coco, peel yams. She watched me closely. "Child, you're not like them," she said quietly. "Your eyes hold fire. Don't let them dim it." It was the first kind thing anyone had said to me in months. By evening, the kitchen had quieted down. Mama Coco told me to rest while she prepared dinner. I slipped outside and walked toward the small garden by the pool, somewhere I was strictly not allowed. I needed air, to breathe like a human being, just once. That's when I saw him. An older man in crisp white linen, seated under a parasol, sipping tea while watching the horizon. He noticed me immediately. "You're not supposed to be here, are you?" he asked, not unkindly. "No, sir. I'm sorry." "You're with the Walid family?" I nodded. He gestured to the empty chair next to him. "Sit. You look like you've seen war." His tone was gentle. Something about him felt safe. Over the next hour, we talked. I told him bits and pieces, how I wasn't really part of the family, how they treated me like a servant. He listened carefully. He asked about my dreams. I told him I wanted to be a lawyer, to fight for children like me who had no one. When it was time to go, he handed me a card. "My name is Chief Iz. I own this resort. If you ever need anything, call me. Promise me that." I nodded, stunned. That night, I didn't sleep. Not because of the heat, but because for the first time, someone had looked at me not as a burden, but as a person with worth. The next morning, something happened that changed everything. Next morning, the resort buzzed with excitement. Rumors flew that a wealthy guest, some sort of VIP, was flying out that afternoon in a private jet, and the resort staff was scrambling to make preparations. I kept my head down, returning to the kitchen, but I couldn't shake the memory of my conversation with Chief Iz. His words lingered in my mind like a soft light in the dark. Aunt Clara burst into the kitchen not long after breakfast. "Zina, pack your bag. We are leaving tonight. But first, go clean the poolside toilets. They're a mess." Mama Coco looked horrified. "But she's not staff. She's not family either," Aunt Clara snapped. I nodded silently and walked out, heart pounding. I knew better than to argue. As I approached the pool area, I saw him again, Chief Iz. He stood beside a sleek black car, speaking with a group of staff. When his eyes met mine, he smiled. "You didn't call," he said warmly. I lowered my head. "I thought maybe you were just being kind." He walked toward me slowly. "Zina, I wasn't being kind. I was being honest." "Are you packed?" I blinked. "Packed?" I have a spare seat on my flight to Lagos this evening. I'd like you to fly with me. You deserve more than this. I hesitated. But I'm supposed to live with them. They are my family. He leaned in slightly, his voice firm but fatherly. Family is who sees your value, not who hides you in kitchens. Come with me. I'll speak to them. Before I could respond, Aunt Clara's shrill voice interrupted. Zina. What are you doing here again? Are you begging strangers now too? Chief is stunned. Madam Clara, I'm taking Zina with me. She'll be flying first class, and my assistant will arrange everything. She's made a good impression here, something your family failed to notice. Aunt Clara stammered. She's under our care. Then I pity her, he said coldly. You may leave now. My heart pounded. As Aunt Clara dragged her furious self away, I felt something inside me break free. By evening, I was seated in the luxurious cabin of a private jet next to a man who believed in me. I looked out the window as the ground faded below. I wasn't just flying across Nigeria, I was soaring out of a life that tried to shrink me. Lagos sparkled below as we descended into the city's glowing night. I had never seen anything so beautiful, or felt so alive. Chief Ize's assistant, a well-dressed woman named Ada Ora, met us at the tarmac and guided me gently into a black SUV. I kept waiting to wake up, to find myself back in that sweltering kitchen. But the dream continued. Chief Ize didn't just drop me off somewhere. He brought me to his home, the quiet, elegant compound tucked away from the city chaos. His staff treated me with kindness. Edeora helped me settle into a guest room that looked like something from a magazine. No one barked orders. No one looked down on me. The next morning, Chief Ize called me into his study. I've contacted a school in Lekki that offers full scholarships to exceptional girls, he said. You'll have to pass an entrance test. But I believe you'll make it. Tears filled my eyes. Why are you helping me, sir? He smiled. Because someone once helped me. When I was a boy, I was sleeping in a mechanic's workshop. An old professor saw something in me and gave me a chance. I made a promise that if I ever became someone, I'd do the same for another child. You're that child. Weeks passed. I studied like my life depended on it because it did. I passed the exam. I enrolled. I excelled. But I never forgot that rainy weekend. Or the faces that tried to define me by my misfortune. 3 years later, I stood at a podium receiving an award for top performance in my class. The audience clapped as I gave a short speech. Somewhere in the crowd, Chief Ize nodded proudly. And later, as I stepped down, I caught sight of Aunt Clara and her children in the back row. They were visiting Lagos for an event. She looked stunned. Speechless. I didn't approach them. I didn't need to. They had once given me a mattress on a kitchen floor. Now I stood tall on a stage, not to get revenge, but to rise above what they thought I'd be. Sometimes, the people closest to you can clip your wings while pretending to shelter you. But your destiny isn't tied to their limitations. It only takes one person, one moment, to believe in your light. And once you take flight, never look back with hate, look forward with purpose.